Hello, everybody. My name is Cory Rosen, and you're listening to The Story with Cory. And today we have on a super awesome guest, Mr. Wyatt Becker. Wyatt Becker is a singer-songwriter and the frontman for the Wyatt Becker Band. Based out of Spring Grove, PA, founded only 3 years ago, Wyatt and his band have been making waves in the South Central PA region. They were nominated last year for Best Country Band at the CPMAs and is going on their third year of being sponsored by Anheuser-Busch. Wyatt is a country musician at heart, but isn't afraid to throw some rock and roll and a touch of soul into his songs. So, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing
good.
Thanks for having me, Cory.
No, dude, it's honestly been a great day for me. You know why? Someone at work bet me that I couldn't keep my mouth shut the whole day. As you do. They had no idea that I could keep my mouth shut the entire day. No one had any trust in me, so I got $10.
Nice. Hey, $10 richer, man.
$10 richer. That's how you build wealth, right? One step at a time. So, speaking of wealth and wonderful things, you have a wealth of music.
Oh, yeah.
Like that segue? That was a good one.
Yeah, that's smart. Good build-up.
Where'd that begin for you?
Man, so, well, I guess I should start with, I played music, like, instruments, like, my whole life. Started in, like, third grade and whatnot.
What did you start with?
Well, violin in third grade, and then...
I would have never clocked violin.
Yeah, and then saxophone in fourth grade.
I would have never clocked saxophone either. You still play?
I wish. Now, my wife, she ended up getting me a violin for my birthday last year, and I picked it up twice, and I lost everything I had.
Yeah, well, that's how it happens.
Yeah. No, but I played those the whole way up through my sophomore year, and then, I also had, like, some piano lessons, whatnot. If you ask me to play anything on the piano now,
good luck.
I wouldn't be. Yeah, nothing. I was also a hell of a recorder player, but I don't think that counts. But yeah,
everybody starts somewhere, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of stopped both of those in my sophomore year because I thought I was gonna go to college to play football, and sports kind of took over everything. But then now here I am playing guitar again, and I'm in a band and kind of doing some local music stuff.
So did you have a band before this at all, or was it just your marching bands and whatnot?
So yeah, I was honestly what pushed me away from playing instruments in high school was they made me suit up and play like with the marching band like halftime of like one football game out of every year, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Yeah,
really,
football is more important right now. And
so you played football and were forced to be put into marching.
Yeah,
we had a quad player that did that. He'd be performing in his like football suit, and it's like it's one thing performing in a band suit that's already hot and whatever. Yeah. But after 2 quarters,
I'm smashing mouth for the first half, and then I have to stop, play my saxophone for 15 minutes, or whatever, and then go back out there and try to pick up where I left off. It's
a whole mindset switch.
Yeah. It's just
I'm not good.
Yeah, it pushed me away. I was like, you know what? I don't really need it right now.
That's interesting.
But I honestly didn't start like writing music and everything until, I was in the Army and I bought a guitar like my first year. Never played guitar before.
How'd you get to the Army?
Well, I didn't think I was going to be very good at college, and I figured if my parents were going to help. I have 2 sisters, and I figured if my parents were going to help anybody get to college,
should be them.
It'd be them. And if anybody's going to get a free ride to a college degree, I could do the Army, and I could do it the tough way, I guess. But that being said, though, I have 4 years of the GI Bill that I've never used yet, so here we are. So I bought a guitar like my first year in the Army, and I played it every day for 3 months, and then put it down like every other guitar player. And
it's part of the journey.
Yeah, part of the journey. And then one of my buddies who also played the guitar, who was in the Army with me, he asked to borrow it the one day. We were at like a party, whatever, and I went back, went to sleep. And I woke up the next day, my guitar was sitting there, broken in half. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm done playing guitar.
Sucks.
Yeah. But it was like my last year in the Army, and I went through a bad breakup, and I was previously engaged and everything. So it kind of set me back a little bit. And I had like all these feelings and emotions that like I just didn't know what to do with. And I started just writing music, and wrote my first song without a guitar. and my buddy Hunter Schroeder, if you're listening. But he was like, hey, I have a guitar, like, I don't even play it. Here, take it. So he gave it to me, and so thank you, Hunter, because now I'm playing guitar every day. So, but yeah, wrote my first song with that, and came home, and then that kind of just jump-started everything else, and I ended up writing a handful of songs now. So
how many years ago was that?
Shoot. Got out of the Army in 2020. So, well, yeah, I guess it was the year of 2020. I started grinding again, and I'm finally at the point now.
Before the pandemic or during?
This was like during the pandemic too. So I guess it kind of gave me a little bit extra time inside to learn and do my thing. But yeah, so kind of led me here, and now I can finally play a G chord without bumping into other strings and making it sound good.
Right.
So yeah, definitely still not the guitarist I want to be. I'd like to be able to do some solos, but yeah, just a chord player.
Dude,
right
I'm a piano player.
Oh, okay.
And I consider myself to be mediatary, at least, like medium good.
Yeah.
And whenever I could read chord charts like nobody's business. I know my theory. I know everything because I went to college for it.
Nice.
Someone looks at me to solo. No.
Yeah. No way, dude. Count me out. Yep.
You take it.
Yeah. There's times on stage where my guitarist, he'll be like, he'll finish his solo and he'll kind of look at me and he's like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "No way, Jose. Yeah, not here. Not on stage in front of people."
No, I had a really great friend, Nathan Arndt, who refused to not make me. He would just stop and make me continue playing.
He's like, "No, you're gonna go."
Well, yeah, because I mean that's honestly some ways that it's good to do it on the fly because in theory I know my music theory. I know what notes can go where, and I'm an award-winning film composer. I should be able to make a melody. Just maybe not on the spot. But I mean, saying go and doing it on the job is probably one of the best ways to learn, because when are you ever going to go home and just work on soloing stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Never.
Never.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So,
I haven't yet, so.
Right, yeah. So I think one day you should just do it and surprise him.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And if it sucks after 4 bars, give it back to him.
Yeah. No, I even ended up buying an electric guitar from my buddy Jake Mage, who just won best country artist of the year.
I need to get him back on the show.
Yeah, I bought his electric guitar from him, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to play this, and I'm gonna do some solos. And sorry, Jake, but it's I think it's just collecting dust the same way it was in your house. But I'm getting there. Though. Yeah.
So, how do you think your music has improved over the 5 years that you've been writing?
Man, well, so now we have an album out on Spotify and all that stuff. But I'm currently working on a new album right now, and that album that we put out, I'm happy with, of course.
Sure.
That was a huge step in my life. That was a huge goal to accomplish, and I did it. But now I'm at the point now where I'm going, okay, these are all breakup songs. There's not a single love song, nothing else.
Not a party song.
Yeah.
Not a beer song. Not even a tractor song.
No, I had a lot of demons inside. I just had to get out, and I really kind of I wouldn't say exposed, but I kind of just opened up my soul, my heart to the world, by doing that. And now I'm at the point now where, my wife, she's also like, you haven't written a love song about me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I should probably do that one. That's on my list. And I'm happy to say I've written 3 now. So
there you go.
The next album might be a love album. Who knows? But now I'm kind of more technical with it. Where the first album, it was, let's just get these songs out, and we just pushed it, and they're out. And they sound great, how they are. But I listen back now and I go, we should have added this here, or my voice isn't as where I wanted it to be for this song. We should have done this different. So now I'm at the point now where I'm like, let's make this something special. Let's add texture. So
no, that's always a good feeling. I did a 15-minute orchestral piece back in college.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I look back at it now, and it's like, ooh, there's some. But you look back at it, and it's like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
And then there's parts like, oh, I just want to crawl in the corner.
Yeah, and to people that have never done that, they listen to that and they go, that's beautiful. That's
perfect.
It's
beautiful. Yeah. Well, but it just shows the growth that you want to have, and you should be able to look back at something like 10 or even a year
Oh yeah, yeah.
back and be like, oh wow, I should have done this differently, because I mean that shows that you're growing.
Yep.
That's not to say that if you look back and you're like, oh wow, this is peak.
Yep.
Something is you're allowed to make good music
Yeah,
in the past, right?
Exactly.
So,
yep.
But you should always be able to pick out and critique yourself.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yep.
So so here's a question.
Okay.
You're talking about albums. You're putting out albums. Are you album minded or single minded?
So kind of yes and no.
Okay.
So my main goal is to put out an album. Whether if it's this year or beginning of next year. There's a lot of work that goes into recording stuff.
Of course.
But like I am more or less just like we need to get another song out. It's been a little bit. We were super busy with like doing shows. I mean, last year we did. I mean, I can't even tell you how many shows.
I think last year was a really good year for live music.
Yeah, we did. Like, I mean, there were some weekends where we were doing 4 shows in a weekend.
That's great.
And then like come Sunday, I don't have a voice and I have to sing for 3 hours. I'm like, God, I can't do this. But so now it's kind of like, all right, we just need to put some kind of song out, 1 or 2. So I'm down to release some singles, some EPs, whatever, and then, maybe put some of those in this album, whatever. But I'd like to have like a big master, something about albums, man. I just love it's the way they can all come together, and
so you're really big on like concept albums.
I love like a good album where like if you listen to the first song the whole way to the last song on the album, it like almost is like a story, like it kind of paints a picture. Just been like obsessed with those kind of things. Now I'm not sure if I'm like 100% there yet, where if you listen from front to back, you're going to be like, oh yeah, this makes complete sense. This guy's a genius.
It's hard to do.
It's super hard. Yeah. But
to compile 12 songs.
Yeah.
And then make it into like because I'm working on a Halloween album.
Okay.
I've got this idea that this dude has done something wrong, and he's kind of going through like the stages of grief.
I love that.
So like the first thing is he runs into this house of horrors. The first thing he runs into is this doll that wants to play forever.
Yeah.
Right? And so, the first thing when you do something wrong, you just want to, run away and not think about it. So that's doll. And then there's like and it's going to be like a multi-genre album.
I love it.
Because the next one is going to be like a chainsaw killer, and I want the guitar riff to sound like a chainsaw throughout the entire thing. And so on and so forth.
Yep.
And at the end, I want it to be like a giant they're all coming after him, and he's got to like escape. So you hear bits and pieces from one song, and I was like, oh, this is gonna take a year or so.
Yeah.
And 2 years later,
yeah, dude,
I'm still trying to figure it out.
It's tough, man. It is tough, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff that like sets certain musicians into different groups than other musicians.
100%.
Like you could just play guitar and sing,
and that's totally justifiable too.
Oh yeah, of course, of course, yeah. But then, I mean, if you can do something like that, I mean, like, dude, that just puts you. I mean, just I don't know. I love the idea. Don't give it up yet.
No, I won't. I won't, and it's something I've been working towards. But it's. I mean, I think it's wonderful to create a full-length album, to have some sort of meaning behind it, not just a collection of songs. Having a collection of songs is fine. It's just that I listen to an album that has a story, not just a collection.
Is there a meaning behind this?
Yeah.
Is there some kind of message that's like underlying between all 12 of these songs? That paints this picture. And like that's another thing too. Like I mean, I don't want this to just be straight up country. Like I'm down to throw some rock in there. I'm down to whatever. Like I'm kind of open to everything. I mean, I love all genres, and like I paint myself as a country artist, but like I mean, deep down, I mean, like we're learning how to play Down with the Sickness right now. It's like a full band, and like awesome. That's just like a fun one that like everybody knows. Even if you don't love rock, like you've definitely heard the song before. So it's I'm kind of like I don't know. I kind of float with genres, I guess, as a musician. So
well, I really appreciate musicians that do that, because what I think this area is really missing is kind of variety shows.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's, I mean, you hear a country person, all of a sudden you hear the
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
just like,
what
snap!
the hell? Yeah. No, we started doing For Whom the Bell Tolls last year. That was like our thing. Like we would do it like finish out a show, whatever. And I mean, we played it at Glenville Station, and we're just playing all this country, and then it's coming to like our short break, and we just start rocking out the For Whom the Bell Tolls, and we had the whole bar just peel out, and they're all just standing out there watching. They're like, hell yeah, man, like this is awesome. So, and that's the thing, like you can. if you paint yourself this picture of I am solely a country artist, you're gonna pull in this amount of people. But
Sure.
if you can throw in a Metallica song, if you can throw in a Disturbed song, you pull in this much more people. If you throw a Stevie Wonder song in, you pull in these people, these groups of people, and it's man, it's just, I don't know, it's awesome. It's awesome what you can do with that kind of stuff. So,
and I say this all the time, like it's like, teachers will always tell you to find your voice, right?
yeah,
And I think that's almost hurtful in some cases, because like, what's your voice? It sounds like something that's one thing and one thing only, right?
Yep.
What if I was multiple things?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And you should be multiple things. Obviously, you have to find your own sound, and your sound is going to influence whatever you make.
Yeah.
Right. Don't get me wrong on that, but that shouldn't contain you.
Exactly.
It should release you into other stuff. You can, just like look at country as a genre within the past 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's all, there's been country rap, there's country hip hop,
Yep.
it's all over the place.
You got Hardy doing screaming songs and stuff. It's like, I love it.
It's great.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep.
It's pushing the genre in places that maybe some of, not all of it's good. I mean, it can't be.
I definitely agree with that one. Yeah.
Sorry, Florida, Georgia.
Yeah. Stay at home. Yeah.
Come on the show, please. No.
Yeah.
But I think it's great pushing genres, or even like genre mixing.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
Yep. I see Chris Stapleton do that kind of stuff like all the time. I'm a huge Chris Stapleton fan.
Post Malone.
Post Malone. He did all this stuff, and then now he's like, hey, I just dropped a country album, and then he decided to drop a second part of that, which is like another whole list of music.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
And even Beyonce hopped on the train.
Yep. Now I don't agree with her winning best country album.
I don't agree with her winning the best album either.
I respect her as an artist.
Yes, massive respect for who she is.
Yep, but
did not deserve that country album of the year.
Yeah, no. Just making that clear. Making that clear right now.
Making that clear.
Yeah.
Sorry, Beyonce.
Yeah. Yep.
Good musician though.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, she's definitely got a good list of songs, man. That paints her paints her career, for what it is. And I don't blame her. She probably got tired of doing the same pop stuff. And,
country's been kind of popping off.
Yeah.
At least urbanly.
Yeah.
It's always been a good one rurally, but urbanly it's been popping off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, and popular thing.
I think my thing was like too, because I got to make this clear. Like when I first started like singing, it was not singing. I was not a good singer at all whatsoever growing up, and I went through this whole, breakup and everything, and I started writing this music, and I was like, and I just had my heart set on like, I know there's something in there. We got to get it. We got to find it. We got to figure out what the hell's going on, and that ultimately kind of led me to. I realized that like, okay, I'm better at singing country music. I'm not great at singing country music, but I'm better at singing country music, so I'm going to try to dabble with that. And honestly, what I did was like I would probably not the safest thing to do, but I would just take videos of me on like Snapchat of me singing, like not necessarily just like, me on camera, but I would just listen to the videos over and over and over again.
That's what all musicians should do.
Yeah,
is to watch yourself.
Yep.
And to hear your inconsistencies.
Yep.
And to fix it that way. Don't get yourself all tied up in a bun about it.
Yeah.
But you should. Even professionals do this. They take videos of themselves and listen back.
Yep.
You got it, because your ears betray you.
Yeah. And people used to give me slack. They probably thought I was crazy, honestly. But they'd give me slack. They'd be like, yo, like, why are you listening to yourself again? I'm like, you don't understand. I have to. Like there was something. I gotta find this inside of me. And I would just nitpick the hell out of my voice. And I'm like, oh, well, you could have done this different here. Try going up a little higher here. Try to tweak. And ultimately kind of led me to where I'm at now. I'm in a band. I feel like I'm a pretty decent singer now, and I'm actually trying out for American Idol this year.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they're gonna take me or not, but I look at it and I go,
Make sure you have a good story behind you.
yeah, exactly. Or else they're not gonna put you on camera.
Right.
But like Luke Combs, he didn't really have much of a story. He tried out for The Voice, and The Voice was like, yeah, you're just not fit for TV. Mm-hmm. And look at where he's at now. But not knocking the voice, but yeah, I was just thinking about it, I'm like, dude, you're 26, and you got one life to live, and I encourage everybody to just, chase whatever is just earning in your heart to drag you out of the house and do whatever makes you happy, if that makes any sense.
Especially if you're young. I mean, I'm 25. Yeah. It's the time to F around and find out.
Yeah, exactly.
You can when you're in your 20s.
Yep.
Maybe you shouldn't, but you can.
Yeah. Now's the time to do it. Once you hit that 30s,
it's like, maybe I should figure something out. You got a wife now. It's like,
I should probably get married, have kids now, and get
right.
a house.
That clock is running
out. Yeah.
But no, once you're in your 20s, feel free to frick around and find out.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of that, we're going to find out about some of your songs.
Cool. Yeah, let's go.
So, Sunday Stoned. Tell me about this one.
So, this was, this is not like a true story whatsoever, but where this kind of came from was my good buddy Owen Jacobs. He's like, he has like 2 poetry books published, like out on, online, whatever. And he was like a huge driving factor, like help with me when I first started out, because there was nights where I'd come over to his house and we'd sit down till 3 a.m. just trying to write some music. He saw like I had like this passion in me and he just wanted to help. So him and we sat down with this, and I had the chorus, and the chorus for it, like I basically wrote the chorus, and I guess I was kind of pulling from past experiences, but wasn't necessarily like telling an accurate factual story. Like this was not like a real story is what I'm getting at.
Sure.
And he's like super poetic, and he kind of helped me like write the verses and everything for it. So it's another breakup song, go figure, but it's I personally think it's one of the best on the album that we have. And it also my guitarist Devin, he does a hell of a guitar solo in that. But yeah, that's kind of the backstory on that one. Yeah.
And this is the first time that anybody's hearing it.
No. So this one has been on Spotify.
Oh, this one has been on Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's take a listen to Sunday Stone.
Sure.
Down there at the bar, $2 draft special, burning up a hole in your head. I was looking for trouble, you were serving time, spending all your nights stealing looks from a student who cost me a dime. Spread out on a fresh-made bed, oh, you were mine. Then you let down your hair and wiped off that smile. Sooner than you know it, I was running for my life on moonlight mile. Sunday Stone, thinking about trying to find the words to the next country song. Thinking about her. drawn out screaming on the lawn. Kiss before you leave, curse the spell written all over me. When I think about those eyes, it's so hard not to cry. Those bright blue pearls in her little boy's eyes, oh God, why? I'm Sunday stoned, thinking about, trying to find the words to the next country song. Thinking about her, thinking about me, thinking about all the times that you were with me, yeah. Well, I'm Sunday stoned. Sunday stone, thinking about home, trying to find the words to the next country song.
And that was Sunday Stoned
Yes, sir. Yep.
with a very long instrumental.
Very.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Tell me the reasoning behind that.
Well, it's actually really well. That song kind of has a, I guess like the chord structure to it has like a very when I would listen to it, you know, this was like before. I mean, originally we just had the verses and the chorus. You know, that's how every song starts. And man, like when we got up to like that final chorus, it was like, dude, like this chord structure is just begging for something like this. And ironically enough, my guitarist, he went through a breakup like I mean, as we're writing the song, and
So you just let it out.
dude, I sat him down, and when we were recording this, and he played it through the one time, just a solo, and I was like, and it just wasn't it, and I kind of pulled him off to the side, and I said, I had like a come to Jesus moment with him. I said, look, bro, I was like, if this is the last thing you ever play it like, I mean, play it, dude, and I'm like, put your heart and soul into it, close your eyes, think about that girl, and just go, man, and he came up with that, man, and I couldn't ask for a better guitar solo in that song. Yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah, yep.
Well, we were kind of speaking of come to Jesus. We were talking about that during the break. So, do you play at church?
So every once in a while.
Every once in a while?
Yeah, so it's kind of like my church is kind of very traditional. We do like hymnal singing, and we have an organist and a piano and a choir.
Okay, so not much room for guitar.
Yeah, so every once in a while we'll have like a special music instead of
Sure.
like the choir doing a song. And my dad, my dad's the pastor of my church. I should probably say that too. So he kind of has like a
PK over here.
yeah. So he has like a
with the tattoos and the military.
yeah. So he has like a secret weapon at home, whenever he needs like some music, so he'll give me a call and he'd be like, hey man, you think you can do a song this week? I'm like, yeah, and a lot of times I just dig through an old Randy Travis hymnal album, and I do something from there. But I've been branching out and doing like some more modern, contemporary, Christian music, and it's really hitting. And I tell you what, if country music doesn't work for me, I might go Christian.
Some of these Christian
music.
songs are pretty good.
I'm serious,
lie.
dude. They are going. I mean,
They're really good.
Yeah.
I back like 10 years ago.
I couldn't stand to listen to it.
Wasn't quite there.
Yep.
But like
Yeah.
some of these songs, man.
Well,
are
and
good.
it's kind of like what we were talking about with like the country, how like they're kind of doing like this
Branching
and that.
out.
And I mean, I'm sure Christian music has always been like that, but I feel like now, man, like
So here's my opinion. From a person that went to Bible college, which means nothing on any of this. But for the longest time, I feel like Christianity has been chasing culture.
Yep.
And that's why the music has been trash for so long.
Yes.
And I feel like Christians are starting to finally push the culture.
Yep.
Which is, there's 5 ways to think about Christ and culture. There's Christ above culture, Christ removed from culture, Christ in culture,
Sure.
Christ of culture.
Yep.
And there's 2 others that I can't remember off the top of my head. There's a really great book about it, and I'll find it somewhere in my college.
Yep.
And it's really good. But we need to be the Christ in the culture.
Yep.
Right. And Christians should be the one pushing the culture, not to like bash people over the heads at all. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that ended like a few years ago. That's
cut that out.
Yeah.
Not trying to be Westboro Baptist.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. But we should be pushing culture because that's what makes good Christian material.
Of course.
We're getting like Angel Studios has
Yep.
been killing it.
Oh, yeah.
With
Oh, yeah.
all of their stuff, like Braver Than the Dark, a local Christian production. Just it's amazing. It's
Yep.
wonderful what they're doing.
Yep.
And we're finally pushing culture in a great way, and we're influencing in a great way.
Oh yeah.
That's not harmful.
Yeah.
Or that isn't just bad, like all the
Yeah.
TriStar.
Yeah, we're not bringing like venomous snakes in anymore.
No,
It's,
it's actually like genuinely wholesome material,
Yep.
which is what America needs, in my opinion.
100% agree. Yeah.
So how do you bring Christ into your music at all?
Well, so I guess like four of the songs on the album. Well, I mean, I feel like damn near all of them. I end up, I reference God in it, because I tell everybody, like what saved my life at the time, because I mean, I was in a dark spot when I first started writing music, and what saved my life truly was God music, and like if there's anything I can do, as a musician now, it is give back give back to the music that healed me. Like, so if anybody can take anything from my songs, I hope they can just take, some kind of help from me, from your phone, from your car radio, whatever, like if, as long as my music helps people in any way, like I'm a happy man and I could die happy, and I have people telling me all the time, I just had somebody last weekend. They were like, they're going through a breakup and they're like, yeah, man, I kind of going through it right now. And, just, I've been listening to your album. It's really been helping. I'm like, man, like that just brings warmth to me. So, I have to give credit to the man who saved me, and,
right.
and that's,
the
one
that
gives
you all these gifts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I didn't ask to be a singer. I didn't ask to be able to play the guitar. I didn't ask to stand on a stage in front of hundreds of people, whatever. But here I am, and I'm so thankful, and I feel like I have to give back in some way. And if that's me praising him through a song that could be played on a radio, whatever, so be it, or right. on a podcast here in the middle of, PA, let's go, So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Should we get to your next song?
Sure. Let's go.
Oh,
Diane. Yeah. So that's another one that was helped to me by my buddy Owen Jacobs, and kind of same thing where at this point in the writing stage, we already had all these songs that I personally, basically like true stories of like where I came from to now, and we kind of sat down. We were like, all right, well, let's, instead of like another super personal story, let's try to make this personal story into like this fictional based thing that didn't really happen, but can kind of translate as well. And Oh Diane on the album is like our most rockiest song. It's awesome. It's like one of my personal favorites, besides Sunday Stone. But I also have my father who does like a little reading excerpt in there, and it's actually a Bible verse. Ironically enough, as we're talking about Jesus, but
that's why I put it next.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I did listen to these beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I basically kind of wrote this one. Owen kind of helped me through it, and then he kind of was like, hey, you should play the guitar harder here, whatever. And that kind of just landed it to where it's at now. So yeah.
Well, let's take a listen to Oh Diane.
I made a lot of mistakes in my life. But you were first in line on this devil's ride. Her eyes weren't nearly as blue as your sweet deep hue, but you still came back to me, baby. For that I love you. I love you. The sun, it didn't come out. Day to day to day to day. There's no umbrella to hide this goddamn rain. Just take another long sip and drown away all that pain. I'm sorry for all that I did. It'll never be the same. Oh,
And that was O'Nien. You are sponsored by Anheuser-Busch.
I am.
Anheuser-Busch.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
So, yeah, tell me about So, it honestly kind of fell into our laps, 3 years ago. We had so brewery products in York off 30 whatever. They are now great friends of ours. And they messaged me out of nowhere, and they said, "Hey, we got an opportunity." Now this is, I should make this clear. This was when the whole Bud Light thing went down.
Oh yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Also, before we continue, I know there's people watching because we've seen your comments. Hi, how you doing? If you have any questions for him, leave them in the chat. We'll ask him later. Yep. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, catastrophe.
Yeah. So basically, the whole Bud Light thing went down, and Anheuser-Busch just started scrambling, and they were like, "How do we save this brand?
Rebuild our brand?
Yeah, before it dies completely.
How do we get back into the country frat boys?"
Yeah, exactly. So they basically said, "All right, let's do some local stuff." So so they went to their beer distributors in all across the country, and we were actually like oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, yeah, but forget that. Anyways, so they went to like every state, and they went to their like biggest distributors of like their beer and whatnot, and they said, "Hey, I need you to find a local band, and I need you to we're gonna give you guys the funds. We're gonna give you guys like here's like the list of things we're gonna give you. Basically, we need you to kind of work through us to kind of sponsor them for." For like,
save the brand.
Yeah. So basically, they did a Bud Light summer tour, and now they did like a big national event with like Kane Brown and a bunch of other people. But on the backside, it was all these local bands. So Brewery Products came to us. They said, "Hey, this is what's going on," and we asked a bunch of people around who we should sponsor, and your guys' name just kept coming up. And would you want to be sponsored by Anheuser-Busch? And at the time, I'm like. This Bud Light. I'm going, man. So this Bud Light thing's going on. We just like now. This is like we've been a band for a year at this point, and I'm going, man. Like, is this gonna hurt us? And it was a serious thought. And I was laying in bed that night and did some praying, and I went, oh yeah, no, this is what I need to do. This is 100% what I need to do. And I do not look back whatsoever. It is one of the best things that's ever happened to this band. Thank you, Anheuser-Busch. Thank you, Brewery Products, for everything. And so now we're on our third year, and this year we're actually switching over to Busch Light, which is awesome. I guess they kind of did their thing with Bud Light. They're like, all right, Bud Light's good enough. Yeah. Let's start pushing Busch Light.
I think they have rebranded. They've done a successful rebranding.
Oh, 100%.
Or fixed. Made amends.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Well, Shane Gillis, Post Malone, they're huge contributing factors, but and the Wyatt Becker band.
Right up there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that should be starting this year, I guess, like June or May or something like that. So yeah, and that's pretty cool. We just we have like 6 shows or whatever, and we put them all. Like they're all local, and like kind of like the area, and it's really like where Brewery Products, distributes their beer. Mm-hmm. So, we're playing at Stone Grill, which is out in York somewhere, and we're gonna be at Bourbon Mill, a bunch of other places, and yeah, it's just super cool. You come out to a show, you get a bunch of free, Bud Light, Busch Light merch. We'll give you hats, we'll give you koozies, T-shirt. And this show basically just kind of turns into like a big Bud Light Busch Light party, and it's fun for everybody, Yeah. So yeah, and we get to have like our logo on with like an Anheuser-Busch product, which is like super cool. Yeah. And like they went to like they do like a convention every year, and we were like the only local band to have like our like logo up on like the massive giant screen in front of everybody in like the whole country. So yeah, it's a really cool thing. Super blessed. Super thankful, and it's really helped the band get to where it's at now. So
have you written your obligatory beer song yet?
I'm actually working on that right now. Yeah. I am. I'm trying to finish something that I a good bar song. So
Every country person needs at least one.
Exactly. Yeah, I wrote this whole breakup album. I'm going, man, like, what am I missing? Oh yeah, a bar song.
Oh yeah, bars,
a
trucks,
love song.
corn.
You know, yeah, yeah. A farming song, track. You know, whatever. You know, like. So yeah, no, I am working
Shooting
on
a cop sometimes.
Yeah.
You want to go to Johnny Cash route?
Yeah.
So let's go to one of your finished songs.
Okay.
Sunday Afternoon.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that one.
So Sunday Afternoon, it actually came to me at work. I am a part-time musician, but a full-time certified forklift operator. Put that on a T-shirt.
I'm that too.
Yeah, yep.
One of those.
So I hope my boss isn't listening, but just riding around the warehouse one day, and I went, "Holy shit! I think I got some lyrics here," and I wrote them all down. For the first time ever, I finished a song within like an hour. I wrote it all down.
Isn't that wonderful?
I wish it could happen like that every time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But ended up writing this whole song, and this was kind of like our fun one. Like I reference Step Brothers in there. I reference sitting on the couch naked drinking a beer. And it's supposed to be like a fun breakup song, not like a sad one, but like a, hey, I'm getting over you by doing all this. This is all the things I'm doing now that I'm not with you. Yeah, exactly. So, and it turns into I think our most liked song now. So
yeah. Well, let's take a listen to Sunday Afternoon.
Heck yeah.
Well, I always thought that I'd end up with you on a wraparound porch staring up at the moon. But you left me on that Sunday afternoon. Now what am I even supposed to do? Well, I'm gonna get shit-faced on a Monday night and hang with the boys and watch a UFC fight. Maybe even take the old Harley for a ride. And I'm gonna watch Step Brothers for the 100th time and Blair Hank Jr. till the morning light. Do all the things I've been really meaning to do. I've been doing pretty good since it's Sunday afternoon. Now a little heartbreak ain't nothing to cry about. I shed a few tears, but you best bet I dried them out. 'Cause when I looked around at what's in front of me, I saw a pretty fishing rod and a tall glass of dignity. On the soul guitar, stomp my boots at the honky-tonk bar, talk to the locals till I hear that bell. Last call. And I'm gonna sit on the couch with the brew and the nude, lay across the bed and sleep until noon. Leave me, baby, that's what I'm gonna do. 'Cause I've been doing pretty good since it's Sunday afternoon. Send a few thank yous to the man upstairs for picking me up and helping me see clear. And I'm gonna sing all my songs till the sun comes up. Start off my day with some coffee in my cup. Walk around all day humming this little tune. 'Cause I've been doing pretty good since it's Sunday afternoon. Yeah, the Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that's the shorter one of the.
That's okay. We love short songs. I was kind of wondering that too, because you tend to, or at least you sent me a lot of long songs in an economy that doesn't like long songs.
Yeah. I well, I was trying to think. I'm like, what are like my favorite songs off this album? Like, what are our best? And yeah, it's sadly enough, like 2 of them are like 6-7 minutes.
I don't
long.
think it's sad. I love long songs.
Yeah, I mean they tell a story. You know,
some of the best songs in hit like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah,
Tiny Dancer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Some of these long songs.
Oh yeah, yep.
Are brilliant, and I'm a classical nerd, so I can bring in like so many classical music that are like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That I will sit and happily listen. I will happily listen to Rhapsody in Blue like 3 or 4 times before I get bored of it.
Yep. You want to sit down and go on a trip for like 3 hours, listen to one single Tool album, and
right,
you know,
exactly.
like, that'll do it.
That's it.
Yep.
It's quite literally it. Yeah. I think long songs are great. I think Americans' attention spans need to get better.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Damn TikTok, you know?
Yeah, they're out there trying to use apps.
Whatever that face Instagram, whatever the hell.
Facegram. Necessary evils, huh?
Yeah.
No, we love our social media overlords.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
We wouldn't have a following without
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't shoot us, please.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in this year?
So this year, I mean, definitely putting out some more music. We're playing a whole slew of carnivals. I'm hoping to get back up on the Froggy Free stage this year. That'd be pretty cool. That was great. I opened up for Restless Road, and not a big fan of their music, but
it's still cool.
It's super cool. You know, I mean, they're a national act. So yeah, you know, those are some of the things. I'm also looking forward to just like really grinding. I think last year we did. We did so many shows, but I think this year we're kind of aiming for more of a quality, or quality, not quantity.
1,000%.
Yeah, because last year, and you have to do what you got to do. You know, you got to get your name out. You gotta play everywhere.
When you first start, it's definitely quantity over quality.
Yep, and I mean, it is showing this year. Like, we're getting more bigger shows, you know, asked of us to play this year than last year. And last year, you know, like, we'd play a carnival, and then we'd go over here and we'd play in the corner of a bar where nobody's paying attention, you know, or there's like 10 people in there, you know, because it's, you know, an hour or so away from us. But yeah, so just grinding a little bit more and kind of setting the priorities the right way, rather than last year. So.
No, and you got to think about saving your voice.
Yeah.
Not oversaturating any market.
100%.
With yourself.
Yep.
There was like a great post from a fellow musician friend that, you know, booking yourself at Talus every month.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why you're not getting anyone there. Or you're wondering why you're getting 5 people at a time there.
Yeah.
That's because you're playing there every month.
Yeah. The people that saw you the first month, you know, they saw you. They don't want to see you again next month.
Right.
The month after, you know. So you got to switch it up. You got to branch out. You got to explore a little bit. So, yeah, that's kind of like what we're shooting for this year.
What is one technique that you're still working on, whether it be guitar wise or songwriting wise?
Man, so honestly, both. I definitely want to be able to play a solo on stage. Now I will say, I attempted to last year.
You did attempt.
And it was. I only know how to solo in one section, you know, and it's the 1-4 1-3 1-3 whatever. And I went to solo, and I was like, I'm finally doing it. I was playing Jake's guitar, and and I went to solo, and I stepped on my pedal board, and it put me out of tune, and I started playing, and I'm like, this is not right. And I'm looking at everybody else, and they're like, just stop playing. And I'm like, I'm going to stop playing right now. Like, it was not fun. But so this year, I would like to actually play a half decent solo on stage. That'd be really cool. But also songwriting. I'm looking at like branching everywhere. Like what I was saying, like, you know, I've written some love songs. I'm working on this bar song, and I'm trying to broaden my horizon. You know, I've been stuck in this heartbreak, breakup song kind of thing, and now I'm finally kind of pushing away from that. And there might be a breakup song or two on this new album, whatever. But for the most part, I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to reach all levels of, music, I guess. So, yeah. So just working on that, and that just takes time, sitting down and putting the pen to the paper and, clearing the mind, which is the hardest part for me. I go crazy every day, thinking about everything. But, yeah, so.
All right, 3 more questions, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure, man.
First off, what is worship to you? I forgot to ask that during the Christian service. I like to ask that for everybody.
I like that. Let me put it to you this way. So I don't feel like you absolutely need to go to church in order to have a relationship with God. And I feel like sometimes that can be painted differently by other people. Worship to me is, honestly, man, just opening up your heart. It doesn't matter where the hell you're at. Church, preferably, but...
I think because worship isn't going to church. Well, worship is going to church.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? It's not at the church where you're singing the hymns. It can be. Don't get me wrong.
Sure, yeah.
But how many people that you know for a fact are just walking through the motions?
90% of the people I know.
90% of Christians on earth are like walking through the motions. You know what I mean?
Yep. I don't necessarily feel God's presence when I'm singing, Amazing Grace from a hymnal book, in my church.
For the 50th time.
For the 50th time, exactly. If anything, like I do most of my worship in my truck, driving down the road. I just pause my music and I just drive and I just speak out loud, and I know He's listening. And to me, like that is my happy place. I do that damn near every day. So
no, and to expound upon that, because of my $5 word of the day.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you're teaching me new things.
I got a vocabulary and I will use it.
Yeah.
You should always be in constant conversation with God.
100%.
Because just the way to get it through your day is to talk to God constantly.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be at any special time or any special place. It shouldn't be it doesn't even have to be for any special reason. Just to be like, hey God, thanks for today.
Yep.
Or thank you for for the payday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you for letting me breathe.
Right. Thanks for letting me. Thanks for giving me the strength to get up and take a shower.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything.
Yep.
Anything can be worship, but I like to hear what other people, like what worship is to other people, because it's not always just singing at church.
I've prayed in bathrooms. I've prayed in bars. I've prayed for people in bars. I've done it all, man. Don't be afraid to talk to God anywhere you're at. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, He's always listening.
Let's flip the script a little bit.
Okay.
What's one of the funniest or worst things that's ever happened to you besides that mess up with the pedal?
Man, oh boy, you're digging deep.
Humble ourselves a little
bit. Yeah. Man, I really got to think. Oh boy. There was one time. There was one time I was playing at it was a dive bar. It was a smoky bar, and the place was pretty packed, and I actually had a middle-aged woman flash me. Speaking about religion and stuff,
yeah, right.
I had a middle-aged woman flash me, and I immediately looked over at my wife. And she was just standing there, arms crossed, and to me that was funny. To her, not so much. But that's one of my. I'll never forget that day. I mean, that
is hilarious.
Yeah, that's a wild one. Yeah. She said, "Yeah, so we're just not going to play there again." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I get it." But she's a fan. You don't understand. She's a fan.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
She's passionate, probably drunk.
She bought a T-shirt. Come on. Yeah. I mean, she took it off, but she bought one. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Not excited for my future wife. If that ever happens on one of my shows, first off, what are you doing? These are sad songs. Lady.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at the wrong place.
At the wrong place.
I'm playing the wrong stuff for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is hilarious.
Yeah. What about you? You have any any funny?
Not yet. I haven't, so I don't really perform out because I'm still trying to work on my voice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But there's this one song of mine called Leanna.
Okay.
And I wrote it because one of my friends had a song written about her that wasn't the best. It wasn't nice to her.
Hell yeah.
And I think every woman deserves at least one good song written about them.
Damn right.
That's my one card for ladies.
Are you in a relationship right now?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay.
But
I was about to promote you. I was about to say, hey, he's single.
No, I am happily taken.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not not by Leanna though, and that is where my problems were.
Yeah, yeah. Why the hell are you writing a song about Leanna?
Yeah,
Not
that's
me,
why are you writing a song about Leanna? And
Yeah.
Dude, every time I run through this song, I love just telling the audience, this is a song I wrote about a girl that I'm not in a relationship with. She's awesome. She's got a boyfriend. Her boyfriend is right there.
Yeah,
and I'm going to sing this love song about her. And my girlfriend hates this song. And it's it's like a Beach Boys kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Leanna with your eyes so bright. You
I
know,
love
like
that.
super
Yeah.
cheesy.
Yeah.
Right?
But
the end of the chorus, would it be all right if we lay down on the beach and watch the sun go down? Well, it's super nice and romantic.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously, my girlfriend hates it because where's her favorite place?
Yeah.
The beach. And what's her favorite thing to do? Watch the sun go down. She's like, she's taking our relationship.
Yeah. Well, babe, I was thinking about you when I was writing that.
Exactly. I just switched up the words and Megan just doesn't.
Yeah.
I've got my other songs written about her that spell her name out. How about that?
Hey, there we go.
So, if you can't spell Megan, you will.
Yeah.
All right, so where can people find you at?
Man, we are on damn near everything but Twitter. And I think we were on Twitter at one point. That's a long story. Anyways, Facebook at the Wyatt Becker Band, Instagram at the Wyatt Becker Band, Spotify,
Everywhere.
Apple, YouTube, you name it, Amazon Music, we're there.
WYATTBECKER.
Sure thing. Yep. And TikTok, it's Wyatt Becker Music. So
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Get the band.
If I could get some like guy followers on that'd be really cool. It's a bunch of like middle-aged women who are just commenting, you know. But I tell you what, they love it, and they boost the algorithm for me. So thank you. But yeah.
What would country music be without women
Yeah.
supporting it?
you know?
Not much. I tell you what.
Yeah.
All right. Well, make sure you check him out at. Do you have a website?
So not yet, but we're working on it. Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully that'll be WyattBeckerBand.com.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
With all that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And my name is Cory Rose, and this is the Story with Cory. And if you want to check out all the things we got going on, we have the Story Awards coming up next month, April 26th. That is the 3rd year anniversary. What I like to do is every year I have so many artists on, and they all deserve awards. But I can only give out a few because I can only afford a few. So every year I like to pick out.
I understand.
I like to pick out a few of my favorites, and not to say that no one's not my favorite, but there are certain songs that I like more than others, and it's like a host favorite song or whatever, host favorite episode, best story.
Nice.
And so I'm really excited for this year. We've got, and it's a variety show too. So only the people that are on the podcast from the previous year are allowed to perform.
Nice.
I've made that, and it's like last year we had 10 of them. This year I'm not sure how many because I didn't have a lot of podcasts last year.
Okay.
Which is a whole other reason. But super excited for that. It's April 26th. It's a live event right here at the Susquehanna River Creative Conspiracy where we have our open mics every Wednesday. So you should come out to those. I'm always here. If I'm not here, someone else is, and you should be here too. So
Nice.
Otherwise than that, you can go to CoryRoseProductions.com. Whenever I pay the $400 for that website to go back up.
That's why I don't have a website.
That's a little bit expensive. But yeah, over there you can find out all the rest of the things eventually. Otherwise, you can find us at The Story with Cory everywhere you go, and we will see you around later. Bye.
Cool. See you.